Thank you for having me.
Oh my God, listen, oh, you look, how dare you do this during the middle of COVID? Here we go. Question. Among your myriad achievements, you're an author, a host, a model. One that folks like me in the nonprofit world, however, appreciate the very most is the platform and showcase you provide to so many Chicago charities. Why does that matter so much? There are so many things you can do with your reach and influence, but you really dig into our space and lean in with us and promote and platform and amplify our work. Why does that matter so much?
Well, it matters so much because nonprofits are the backbones of society. They lift up the people that are in need the most. They shine a light of awareness on situations and that need to be shown, and raised up to a higher level. They improve the world that we live in. They do a job that other people wouldn't want to do probably in many cases. And, I've been so lucky because, Darius, I started with my blog spotlighting nonprofits. Then I was lucky to move on to the Chicago Tribune, where I focus solely on nonprofits. And now I'm with Chicago Star, which is a hyper-local newspaper where I, thank you goodness, get the privilege again to still sharing the word of the nonprofit community. And it's important to me on so many different levels, but mainly because it's just something that absolutely is the cornerstone of a society.
Speaking of things that are important and cornerstones, why do you think education, equity, access, and opportunity is so important now more than ever?
Well, I don't know if it's now more than ever. I think it's always been so important. I think that, I hearken back to that saying, a rising tide lifts all boats, and I think that, I think all kids should be able to start at the same starting line. To have the same opportunities. I think that's just a given, and I don't even know why there's any question about it. I think that, like what your university does in such a grand way to do this. And I think there should be more schools that focus on things like this. And, they need funds to be able to carry out that sort of a mission. But there's no negative side to that or downside. It's just an obvious point. For humankind to survive. And for all the world. Every society should try to have everybody start at an equitable point with their education and have equal access.
What was the best advice you were ever given?
Oh, goodness. I've been given so much advice. Let's see. Let me think about that for a second. Well, I guess the best advice is to gather all the facts, but follow your gut instincts. And, for me, I'm a very emotional person, and I'm very sensitive to how other people feel and think and what they say. And so I think that that's probably the best piece of advice, is to get all the facts together, but then trust your own instincts.
How do you define for yourself personal and professional success? What does that feel and look like for you?
Oh, well, for me, I guess it starts out with having the opportunity to be with the people that you care about the most. I think that more than professional is the personal aspect of this, because that's for your mental and physical well-being. I was lucky to meet a wonderful man. We've been married 31 years now. He's probably the absolute cornerstone of my emotional support system. Being able to surround yourself with people who lift you up, having a job that you love, that hopefully provides an income, having access to, like I said, mental and physical resources if you need them. Those are all, blessings from above, but those are the things that I think makes you either successful at anything that you do. And you have to have those things in place, I think.
Candace, what is your favorite saying or quote and why?
Oh, goodness. That's very easy because I've written it a million times. It's when God closes a door, he opens a window. And everything that I've been through, jobs that I've lost or been fired from or let go from, relationships. And I just, and it makes me ache and cry and, weep and all this. And sure enough, every single time, the next thing that happens to me is so far greater than what I could have imagined or what I had before. So when friends are like bemoaning the loss of this or the loss of that, I always tell them that, because in my lifetime, that's always been true. I have always been blessed to have something better come along than what I ever could have thought of before.
Our interview has ended. It has been a fantastic joy and the highlight of my day. It is nice to meet people one-on-one, and they are everything that you imagine and more. You can't fake that. You can take it for a few minutes, but you can't build a career on it, and you've done that. So